Changes Celebrate a life so beautifully lived by holding on to every captured moment, every warm memory and special times shared together. Good morning, my name is Kathy and I'm your celebrant today for the sad farewell of a lady who was there for whoever needed her, Jan Mosele. Today you'll be there for each other and can show your love for Jan by helping out each other in your own time of need. And in this way, you can honour her memory. There's been a slight change of plan this morning with Jan's farewell. Due to unforeseen circumstances, Jan has already been laid to rest at the Bairnsdale cemetery with her loved son, Rod. The family were there to watch her be laid to rest. So following on from the chapel, we'll be inviting you to go straight back to the Bairnsdale RSL, where you can continue to share your memories together. Jan was a much-loved wife and best friend of Lou for over 65 years. She was a loving mother of Pam, Julie and Rod, who passed away, and as I've said, she's already been laid to rest, and no doubt he'll be taking his mum into his loving arms. She was an admired mother-in-law of Mel, and adored nan of Nathan, Nicholas and Kelsey, Maddie and Sean and Gabby. She was a great nanny, Jan, of Nikita, Seth, Bryony and Xander, a loved sister of Elle, and her brothers Alex, Alan and Sydney, who have also passed away. She was an auntie, a relative, and obviously a friend to many. On behalf of Jan's family, myself and the staff of Stephen Baggs Funerals, I'd like to welcome you here today to help us celebrate Jan's life. I'd like to thank those that are joining us via the live stream and no doubt sending your love across the miles. Today, you'll hear a brief outline of Jan's life through her eulogy, and then family and friends will be coming to share their own special memories. People often talk about their friendship and love, but are often too shy to come up here and speak. So that's why, when you all go back to the RSL, you can continue to share your memories in a relaxed atmosphere while you enjoy some refreshments. Jan was born in Bairnsdale on the 23rd of May 1936 to proud parents Lockie and Celia Lee. She was the youngest child, having Alan, Val and Sydney as her big brothers and a big sister. She grew up in Bairnsdale and attended the local primary school and the high school. After she left school, she started work at Williams Schumann. She would go to the local dances, and it was there that she met Lou, who was to become her best friend and soulmate. Mind you, Lou did have a bit of competition, but that's his story to tell. I won't name names. Jan was about 17 and Lou was 20. They dated, fell in love and got married on the 2nd of February 1957 at the Old Presbyterian Church. They drove to Adelaide for their honeymoon and were living with Lockie and Celia in Day Street until they could get their own place. 9 months after the honeymoon, their first child arrived, Pam, who was born in November 1957. Don't bother doing the math. Jan and Lou built their family home in Swan Street and moved in 1959. This was, and still is, the family home. Rod was born that year in June, and Julie completed the family unit in 1962. Jan was the type of mother who was always there for her children, and so she didn't return to work until Julie had started high school. There were wonderful family holidays in the caravan, and Christmas was a special time in the Mosele family. In fact, any family get-together was special with Jan. She went back to work and picked beans and seeded pumpkins as an income. Pam described this very sharp spoon that Jan used to seed the pumpkins. She then worked at the Shell Depot in McLeod Street and then moved on to the service station on the corner of Pike and Main Street. When Lou and Jan retired, they spent many happy years travelling around Australia in their caravan and made some wonderful friends along the way. She also spent many years helping Pam and Mel with Nathan, which meant she was doing something that was just Jan all over, and that was helping others. Jan also travelled to England, Spain and Barcelona with her friend Wynne, and went to America with Val to visit exchange students that had stayed with Val here in Australia. Jan was a very accomplished sportswoman. A few people have made comments as they were coming in. She played hockey when she was young, as well as tennis, badminton, golf, bowls and squash, and she won championships in the playing. I also know that Jan and Lou travelled to Darwin many times, and one of those times was on a tour to Coopers, with Coopers Travel, where they flew to Darwin and caught the Gan down to Adelaide. I know this because I was on that trip with them. When I reminded Lou, he said, was I one of the ladies that happened to be up the front of the bus dancing with Jan? I wasn't, but Jan had more energy than most of us younger ones put together. And there was a fun about her that others couldn't help but enjoy with her. Earlier this year, Jan was diagnosed with cancer. And being a positive lady, she commenced treatment and she was determined to beat it. She became palliative, and through the love of family, friends and the palliative team, she was able to remain at home. And Lou and the family are extremely grateful for the palliative care team. I would like to express their thanks to all of them. Love, not cancer, defined Jan's last months. And she didn't lose her battle with cancer because she fought until the end. And she passed away peacefully with her family by her side on the 17th of December. And I'd like to ask Pam and Julie to please come up and share their memories of their mum.
Hi. Dad would like us to share a few words from him. His beautiful wife, loving, caring, forgiving, and always spreading her love to everyone she met. We just wanted to share a few quirky memories of him. Okay. My nickname for her was Fizz or Fizzle because she was a fart in a bottle. Never sitting still, always on the go, and of an evening when she would eventually stop, she would fall asleep in a chair. When she did, she'd have control of the remote and would flick between the channels, and you'd end up watching something else because she would have fallen asleep. We grew up in Swan Street with quite a few kids. They would refer to her, to Mum, as Mrs. Jenny, and we would be playing in our backyard. She'd open the back door, yell out and throw a handful of lollies. We would scramble to get them and thought it was the best treat ever. Growing up, she was the one who disciplined us. There were a few times that I decided that I thought I should run away, but Mum thought better, and she would just get on her bike and chase after me and say through gritted teeth, "Get back here now." We also had a leather strap which conveniently disappeared after I hid it under the kitchen table and only found it years later. This wasn't such a good idea to find it, and because she'd moved to a cane duster. And I remember once that she was so glad my school uniform covered the wax she'd given me, and so she was pretty tough when she needed to be. Yeah, that was those times.
Yeah. She also worked at the drive-in and helped out at the canteen at Wyong when Dad and Rod played football, and she had lots of fun out at the Brew the Knot shop, always lending a hand at the sink or any way she could.
She loved a smorgasbord, not for the amount you could eat, but for the variety it offered. Once when we were out celebrating a family event, she was up at the buffet getting her little taste of everything, and Rod took a seat and put it behind her. When she turned it to the sound of laughter, she was so mortified every time and quickly rushed to sit back down at their table. She was like that, she wasn't she, Mel? Just taking every bit of food off people's plates to taste. Oh gosh. We will miss her regular phone calls every couple of days or every couple of times a day, always around dinner time, as they would have already eaten at 5:30. She'd say, "We'll have to stop meeting like this," and end with hugs and kisses. Whenever any of us asked Dad what he'd like, she would answer for him. And when we'd ask how she would know, she'd say, "Well, I've been responsible for," responded with, "I've been looking after him for 65 years and I should know." So if he wanted it or not, he had to have it and just look up, That was it. Yeah, that was it. Sorry. Let her get away with it.
Yes, he did. Let her get away with everything. She loved music and would regularly have music playing very loud. And whoever was around, she'd rope them in for a dance around the kitchen.
She adored helping us take care of Nathan. And when she was recuperating, thanks Nathan. And when she was recuperating at the physio there, and that one of her goals was to get fit enough to play bowls and then to look after my grandson. So I said, well, if that's what it's going to take to sort of help her get better,
Mum made everyone she come in contact with feel special to her, saying, "Hello, love," giving you a smile, a kiss and a cuddle, spreading her love to everyone. She was always interested in listening how you were. We have been so overwhelmed at how many have taken the time to share how much they appreciate her special ways, and we are honoured to hear the many thoughts of her.
On her last days, when she was asked if she had any concerns, she responded that she was worried she hadn't fought hard enough and that she was leaving Dad, Pam and I, and wouldn't be able to keep looking after us. She was always thinking of others right to the end. We told her that Pam and I would look after Dad and that we had had her as our mum for a long time and that it was time to go and look after Rod, which we think she really got some solace in that. We are privileged to call her our mum. She had a special way to say goodbye with, hang on, Pam's going to show you, with one leg up and one leg behind, and also bunny ears, which we all share and lots of people know between the family. So, bunny ears, Mum. Thank you.
I'd now like to ask Maddie and then Gabby to come up and share some memories as well of their grandmother. Then,
No, a one of a kind, my spring chicken. There isn't the right words to describe your beautiful soul. Your loving, kind, caring and selfless nature could never be matched. I would say you wouldn't hurt a fly, but if you ever saw Nan with a fly swatter, she would get very excited with those things. There are so many memories I would like to share, but here are just a few. Making shortbreads with you was so much fun. Dancing around the house to Hey Baby and many others. Put Your Shoes On, Lucy is burnt into my brain. When you thought Gabby and I needed our fringes trimmed, you became a professional hairdresser, or so you thought. Everyone must have always been cold and needed to be tucked in and put on some of your knitted slippers. When it came to ordering a meal for herself, Nan never would. She would say, "Oh no, I'm not hungry," and then she would nibble off everyone else's plate. Op shopping became your life. You loved spoiling us with all your treasures. Apples before bed was one of my favourite things as a kid. Your squadrons were so warm and safe, except when you put your freezing hands on our faces. Yours and Pa's love is so special and sweet. It's one everyone dreams of finding. Myself, Sean and the kiddies have been so lucky to have you as a nan and a great grandnanny. Your unconditional love and support has meant more than anyone will ever know to me. Your precious love touched so many people. You really were just a saint. The world will be a dark place without your bright light shining. On your travels, give Connor a squad for me. I know you're smothering with your love. We will miss you. We love you forever, Nanny Jan. Sending squadges from your great-grandbabies. Life won't be the same without you. You're no longer an angel in disguise. Spread your wings and fly. I love you so much, Nan. Please.
To our wonderful Fizz. I sat to write and I didn't know how to put into words of such a wonderful lady that you are. I thought of all the kind words people have said over the past few days and all the happy moments that came up as we tried to compile a ceremony that would be a celebration of you. But somehow, even though we did our best, it still just didn't seem to amount to the stubborn, caring, energetic and loving men that you were to us. You were one like no other, with a level of love to give that always seemed larger than life. I remember on video calls, when the camera was faced towards the ceiling, we would tell you off and remind you to put your face in the frame. To which you would always reply, "They don't want to see my face." We would always remind you that this wasn't true. And now all that I wish is that I could just see it one more time. You had your quirks that made you you, and I'm so grateful that they leave me with such strong memories that I will treasure forever. I just want you to know that you'll forever be in my heart, and I'm so thankful to have been blessed with a woman like you as a wonderful man to learn from and to be loved by. And to finish, I'd like to share a reading titled The Afterglow. I'd like the memory of me to be a happy one. I'd like to leave an afterglow of smiles when life is done. I'd like to leave an echo whispering softly down the ways of happy times and laughing times and bright and sunny days. I'd like the tears of those to grieve to dry before the sun, of happy memories that I leave when life is done. We love you, Fizz.
Should be very proud that you got up here and read it all, both beautiful words. Is there anybody else who would like to come up and share some of their own memories with us?
My name's Jack Lee. Fortunate for Jenny, I don't think we're related. The memories I've got of Jenny, we did the sprint. I apologise if I get a bit emotional. But firstly, you couldn't keep her out of the sink. Secondly, everyone that's in Bairnsdale is missing a cutting of a plant. Go up to the Moseles and check out your favourite plants, and you might be able to get a cutting back. But honestly, Jenny was the most wonderful woman. We had some wonderful times together. Memories that I'll never forget. She's such a kind person. There's not a lot more I can say, just that we love her dearly. And we've had a wonderful life together. We did caravanning together. And we had a wonderful life with our other great mates, Colin and Lorraine Beecher. The six of us were very close since we were kids. And I met Lou when he was a little runt. Had his teeth out and all of a sudden he sprung up. But he was a wonderful footballer, a wonderful husband, and the children, wonderful family. We love you, Jan. May you rest in peace with Rodney.
Thank you, Jack. Is there anybody else who would like to come up? Okay. Back at the RSL, there's going to be plenty of time for catch-ups. When you take a photo, you do so to capture a moment worth remembering. You can look back to recreate that memory, or you can share it with others. Jan's family have gone through their photos and selected ones that they want to share with you all today, so that you can take those memories with you. The biggest smile was when she was around family. Geez, there was a lot of snogging going on in those photos.
They love each other, that's
They
why.
did, and you could tell.
Yeah.
You could tell. I'd like you to please stand and join me in saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Please be seated. I'm not sure if you felt that prayer, but there's a lot joined in there. Today you've been remembering Jan with love. She'll be greatly missed by all of you, but continue to talk about her to help and keep her memory alive. Keep your own private memories tucked away in your hearts, and you can visit those whenever you need to. Remember Jan for who she was, someone who lit up the room when she came in. She was always there to lend a helping hand to whoever needed it, and you can continue to live as Jan did and help others. She would have something to offer others, always, even if it was re-gifting Lou's boxes of chocolates. And as you heard before, she enjoyed gardening and would often take cuttings from elsewhere to strike for the garden. She loved colourful flowers, and as Jack said before, maybe you could take one of those cuttings back and plant it at home and watch it grow. Jan was too busy to help others, too busy helping others to have any real hobbies, my gosh. I was told that, she wasn't really, I asked if she was a sewer, and they said, oh no, she wasn't a sewer, but she could mend. She did like to socialise and enjoyed her chai coffees that were extra sweet. She cooked a chiffon pie that was a family favourite, and I had to get them to explain to me what a chiffon pie is, and something with a chocolate base. So maybe get the recipe off Pam and Julie and have a go at cooking it. Think of Jan when you eat it. Jan loved Christmas time and was the mother of Christmas in the Mosele family. Keep a place at the table this year for her, and know that she would want you all to still celebrate Christmas, even though it won't be the same. Remember how she always enjoyed a kiss and a cuddle, and maybe give out some extra kisses and cuddles to those that are close to you today. Try not to look at this as a time of loss. Look at it as a time to reflect upon the memories you've shared and to celebrate a beautiful life. I'm now going to read the poem, The Dash, which, as you know, once I read it, resonates and sounds just like Jan. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first date came, the date of birth, and spoke of the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For the dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth. And now only those who love them know what little that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love, and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? All the memories shared today show that Jan lived her dash, giving, loving and caring for others. And that's how you'll continue to remember her. Now I've got a big request. If you might have seen on your booklets, there's a song at the end called The Birdie Dance. Once you hear the tune, you will know what it is. I want you all to stand up for those that can, and they're going to join me in doing it. Jeff has a camera on you, so he knows who's not doing it, okay? And then once we've played the song, as everyone leaves the chapel, I'm going to invite people to come forward, place a sprig of rosemary and some rose petals on the flowers. So, are you ready to do the birdie dance? Live stream as well, so hopefully others that are watching it joined in. And it will be put up on the page at one stage, so those who didn't, they're going to still see that you didn't join in. I'd like to thank you all for coming to celebrate Jan's life. She's loved and she'll be missed, but we want her to be happy where she is now. And she'll want you all to be happy as well. And as I said before, we're going to play a song now, and as we play the song, I'd love to please come forward, place some rosemary and rose petals on the table as you leave the chapel, and see you back at the RSL. Thank you.
Packed up the photo album that you had made, memories of a life that's been like with the get well soon cars and stuffed animals. Would you go to bed dancing? Dad always told me, don't you cry when you're down, but Mom hesitated every time. Oh, Mama needs it, it's telling me I don't know. A heart that's broken is a heart that's been loved, so I'll sing hallelujah. You are an angel in the shape of my mom. When I fell down, you were holding me up. Spread your wings as you go. God takes me back. You are your home. Fluff the pillows, make the bed, stack the chairs. Original gowns, and cake. John said he tries and John's holding my cheek. My heart to tear from the side of my feet. Sing hallelujah.